Hey guys, no poetry today actually, nothing to do with poetry at all, really. But I did go away during the holidays at Easter, and I kind of want to talk about that, let you know how it was. Also, can we talk about how the UK at the minute is having like a crazy heat wave? Like crazy. Like yesterday, it was 23 degrees in Newcastle. Like, the northeast of England had temperatures of 23 degrees. But, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I went on a coach trip to Bruges, actually, with Amy. She is a lot better at this, and there'll be vlogs on her channel. There's a clip of it here, maybe, if I can figure that out. And I'll link her channel below, and you'll be able to go and find the vlog of this, which is far better than anything I'm going to give you. But I do sort of want to explain my experience and how I enjoyed it. So here we go. So we got a coach at 9 o'clock from Newcastle and didn't really know where we were going. We had no clue. We sort of knew that we were going to Bruges, didn't really know how long we'd be there or where we were getting the ferry from. Everything was fine, it was all paid for, it wasn't really a big deal. It was just a bit of a mystery. So it turns out when we got on the bus at 9 o'clock at Newcastle, we found out that we were going to Hull, which basically told us that was the port we were leaving from in the UK. We just looked for pheasants, but other than that, wasn't really a lot of entertainment. Took some books, read, that sort of thing. So when we got to Hull, we got our passports checked, everything went through all that rigmarole, and got on a ferry to Bruges, which was nice. That we travelled through the evening, and I'd never been on a ferry before, so this was something a little bit new for me. Something I'd never really done, but Amy had done this before, so it wasn't really a big deal for her. So when we arrived in Bruges, that was sort of the next morning, we had some breakfast on the boat and went and had a really cool day in Bruges. We did a lot of exploring, we went into some museums and things like that, and all those pictures will pop up now. Some over there. Yep, that's a thing, yep, we saw a lot of cool things. We ate some waffles, that was fun. If there is a clip of that, that might be here. We ate some really cool waffles, they tasted amazing. But again, if I don't have that clip, that will be in Amy's vlog, I assume, which will be linked below, and possibly at the end of this video. There was a museum that we didn't go into that Amy wanted to. It did look really cool, but I wasn't really that interested. However, rather than going into the museum, we did take some very cool photos of us with the crown and the robes and stuff. I'm really not good at history, this is her thing. But yeah, so I could wear the crown and figured that out by tilting it, whereas Amy did this. She was very cute though. So then we went upstairs, and from upstairs we actually saw the square and stuff, which was a lot nicer. I sat up there and had a drink and stuff with Amy, and it was just a really nice view. It was quite warm. It was meant to actually be lightning and raining a lot, and by this point Amy's mother had found this square that we were sitting in having a drink and found us on a webcam. I think I have an image of that, if so I'll insert it. She basically found us identifiable by my very yellow jumper on the internet, which was a little bit weird, but quite cool to know that, like, I guess that we're being watched. No, I don't like that, that's even creepier than I thought I meant. But this cherry beer though was the best. Like, Belgian beer, also famous, really famous, so that's what I decided to have. And I had this cherry beer and it was strong. Like, I took a drink and I was like, whoa. But it was really good, like I really enjoyed it. The other thing obviously is the canals. Um, texting me. Yeah, so there was the canals and stuff, which were quite pretty. We didn't actually go on a boat or anything, we just didn't really have time. That's the only thing with these mini breaks, I think they're called, is you don't get a lot of time in the city you're visiting. You get to visit somewhere for very cheaply, but generally you don't get a lot of time in the city you go to see. So I would go back again because you don't see everything, which is a bit of a shame, but for the price you're paying, it's not a big deal. So by the end of that day, it was very tiring. We'd walked around a lot, we'd done some shopping, all that kind of thing, and then we had the journey home. So by this time, I was sort of okay, like a little bit tired. Obviously not as tired as Amy because she fell asleep more than once on this trip. Actually, she fell asleep all over. I mean, here and here. Yeah. She falls asleep. Then you get back on the ferry and come home. And the ferry, again, isn't too bad. Our journey on the way back was a lot worse. It was quite choppy. I didn't like it. It woke me up through the night. But I think if you're used to being on boats and ferries and things like that, it probably wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, so then you get the ferry back to Hull, you wake up in Hull in the morning, and I got the bus back. There was a little bit of an issue with that, people missing, things like that. Like people, I think it was a couple that had been to Amsterdam, they went missing and they couldn't be found, which, you know, is a little bit worrying for the coach driver home. That all got sorted out and we got home fairly decent time that day, so the travelling back was a lot shorter than the travelling there, just because pickups and stuff is a little bit less and they organise it a little bit differently. But overall, I had a really nice time. It was a great break from just work and everything, even though it was only a few days. I'd advise anyone going on these sort of things. There's lots of companies out there that do it for quite low prices, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed going, and I definitely think I would do this sort of thing again. Yeah, I think that's kind of all I had to say. I just sort of wanted to sort of wrap everything up that I did and be able to kind of have this to be like, before I went to uni I did this sort of, these little cool things, and I think this is how I'm going to document it. Yeah, this probably wasn't interesting to anyone else. We'll see. Oh, also, the outfit that I wore to go to this has been commented on by quite a lot of people, and I'd love to know if there's any more opinions, just so I can add to the list of comic book characters I actually look at. So I wore a yellow jumper and this blue dungaree dress, pinafore, whichever you'd like to call it, and a grey beanie. That's what I wore. It was meant to be cold. It wasn't that cold, so I ended up with my jacket around my waist a lot. But list of things that I've so far been called in this outfit has been a Smurf, Super Mario, someone from Hey Arnold, but I didn't really watch that as a kid, so I don't really know who they meant. A Minion, which I think is maybe the best, like that might be the closest. And a couple other things, if I can remember I'll put them down here. I'd love for you to let me know who you agree with down in the comments, and what you think I looked most like, or how I could make this outfit look more like anyone else, anything of that, because apparently it's brought a lot of people joy coming up with characters that this outfit looks like. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll try and put some more poetry and stuff up, but that is again all linked in the description, which has like my poetry blog and things on, which gets updated far more regularly, if that's what you're interested in, rather than just like my life. Yeah, that's all that down there. There is a lot more on that than there is on this channel. Like, subscribe, all that jazz.